Well, we have designed registration form. You can check it out. You can enter the name here. Thing like Android, and you can give the age. Okay, some 9 years. If you click on submit button, it is showing the name and age. Okay, but the problem here is, even if you don't enter name also, and if you click on the button, still it is working. But in registration form there will be some mandatory fields. For example, the first name and the last name and email ID, if not phone number. So like this there will be some mandatory fields so that the user has to enter. So in that case you have to add the validation for all the fields. Means for the mandatory fields you have to add the validations. So in this session I will show how to add the validations. Okay, so let us go to XML file. So suppose name is the mandatory field. For then you have to put a star mark here. It means it's a mandatory field. If you don't want the space you can remove it here. Okay, this star shows it's a mandatory field. Now go to the Java code. Whenever user clicks on the submit button, we are collecting the data from both edit text like et name and et age. Suppose if the text which has been collected from the edit text et name is empty, it means you can check it like this. If name dot equals, how to compare the strings? It is not like this. You have to use the dot equals option. If name dot equals space, then you can say, you can show the toast message, toast dot make text, provide the context, it is your home page dot this. Then here you can show the message, please enter name. Okay, and duration toast dot length short. Show the message dot show. Save the changes. Now try to run the application. But here whether this condition is true or false, this will compulsorily execute. So we don't want like this. So instead of this you can add the else statement here. Else okay, if name dot equals space means if user not entered any data into the name field, then it will show the message, please enter the name. If not, it will show the complete message. Okay, let us check it out whether it is working or not. Select the application, run the application. Can wait for the changes. Check the console. Okay, it is coming. it is installing registration APK. Okay, it has been installed. Open the application. Okay, here it is showing the star mark, so the application has been updated. So now check it out. Enter the name, sorry, don't enter the name, just enter age. Click on submit button. Please enter name. Okay, it is showing one message, alert message, saying that you have to enter the name. Now basically in this type of situation we have to use the alert dialogues, like where it gives an option you can directly enter the data to the alert dialog itself. Okay, so alert dialogues I will cover in the later sessions because it's little bit advanced topic. So if you enter the name, something like Sandy, and age something like 26. Okay, it is showing the values. Even if you remove the data from age field, then also it will show the value. Sandy age is equal to nothing. It has not been entered because it's not a mandatory field. Okay, so this is how you can add the validations to different input fields. Now moving further, as I told before, Android application consists of different pages, whereas till now we are dealing with only one page. Now let us see how to create different pages and how to navigate between different pages. Okay, so for example I'll show, if you consider an application called as settings. See, this is whenever you're opening an application called settings, it will show the first page, or you can call it as main page. So here it is giving some options. So this view, what you are saying, is called as list view. I will discuss about list view in the upcoming sessions. So now if I click on any one option, for example if I click on apps, okay, so it is taking me to another page. You can see that if you click on the back button, it will come back to previous page. So once again, if you click on something like battery, it will go to the next page. It means Android application, it consists of different pages. Okay, so you have to provide the navigation between different pages. So now let us see how to create a page in an Android application, because till now we are dealing with only one application, one page in an Android application. Okay, so please note down the steps. These are very important because without these steps you can't create any page in an Android application. And if you are not creating any page, an application with only one page is how many functionalities or how many facilities you can provide with only one page. Okay, it's mandatory that you should know how to create different pages. Okay, so let us start how to create different pages, or how to create a page in an Android application. So as I explained before, Android application consists of different pages, and each page, if you want to design a page in an Android application, you have to write two files. One is XML file where you can design the UI, and another is Java file where you can provide the action to the UI components. or the components which you have added or defined in the XML file. Okay, now let us see how to create these two files and how to combine them to make one Android page. Okay, in technical terms that page is called as activity. Okay, so let us start doing this. First let us create XML file. Okay, so open the resource folder. If it is not opened, open it. Inside that you can find the layout folder. I will repeat the steps once again and I'll go very slow here. Select layout. If you want, you can note down. Select layout, right click, go to new option. Here you can find an option called as Android XML file. If you don't have this option, you will find others or other option. You can select that. It will display this window. In this you can open Android. Inside that you will find an option called as Android XML file. Okay, select Android XML file, click on next. Now in the previous sessions I have discussed, if you want to use an XML file or if you want to create an XML file, the basic thing which should be present inside that is layout. Okay, I have discussed clearly about layouts in the previous sessions. Please look into that if you haven't attended the sessions. So select the layout, whatever the layout you want. I have explained different types of layouts also. Something like a linear layout, relative layout and table layout. So as of now let us go with the linear layout. Select linear layout. Before that you have to give the file name. What should be that XML file name? I will give the file name as page 2. Remember, all the letters should be in lowercase and you can add the numbers or underscore. Then select the layout and click on finish. Okay, so here is your XML file. I will delete this and I will repeat the steps once again. If not, I'll keep the page 2 as it is and I'll create page 3. Select the layout, right click, go to new option. Here itself you will find an option called as Android XML file. If you don't have this option, please click on other option. There you will find a folder called as Android. Open that. Inside that folder you will find a file called as Android XML file. Select Android XML file, click on next option. Here you have to give the name to that file. I will give it as page 3 with all lowercase letters and a number. Okay, you can use the underscore also. Then which layout you want to use for this particular XML file, you have to select the layout. So in the previous sessions I have explained about different types of layout. Please look into those videos if you don't know. Now I will select linear layout, click on finish option. Okay, so here is your page 3 XML file. Okay, so I will proceed. As I told, to create a page you need two files. One is XML file where you can design the UI like this, you can add some components. Okay, and the second one is you have to create the Java file. Okay, so how to create the Java file? The steps are like this. If you want, please note it down. Open the source folder. You will find the package. Open the package. Here is the option to open the package. Then select the package. Right click. Go to new option. Here you will find an option called as class. So select class. It will ask for the name. So here I'll give the name as page 2. Notice here the page 2, it is starting with uppercase letter. The class name always it has to start with the uppercase letter. Okay, sometime you may not find these two fields here. It's nothing but source folder, means where that file has to be stored, and the package name in which you have to add the class. At that time you have to close the window and once again you have to open it. Please remember, if these two options are not there, the source folder and package name, if they are empty, you have to close the window and you have to create the class once again. Okay, if not, you can click on finish button. So here is our second class or second Java class, or you can call it as second activity. As of now it is not an activity because it is not extending any activity class. Okay, and it is not adding any UI to that. Okay, so let us see how to make this Java class as a activity or a page in an Android application. Okay, so now look into your home page. Whenever you have created the application, by default it has created your home class and it has extended the activity and it has added one on create method. For example, I will show the example. If you create one new Android application, something like test app. Okay, if you click on next and if you click on finish, you can see this test app. Open the source folder, look into your Java class. You can see here it has created your first class which extends the activity, and also it has added one on create method. Inside that you have one statement called as set content view. So in the previous session I have explained why we need this set content view. Okay, so we will see now how to use this in our page 2. I'll close these files. So this is your home page, which also contains the on create method, and also your class extends the activity. Now go to page 2. Here your page 2 has to extend the activity class. Extends activity. Okay, now again look into your home page. You have to add one on create method. Why? Because I have already explained the first method which will be executed when you open the page or when you open the application is on create method. So you have to implement the on create method. For that, type on create. You can use always control space. Use control space. It will show the options. Select on create method. Okay, so by default it is adding some lines to you. Now what should be the next statement? You can look into your home page. The first statement after super call is set content view, because Android page consists of two files, XML file and Java file. Both are two different files where you have to establish the link between those two. So here using set content view you can establish the link. Means the Java class will understand to which XML file it has to give the action. Okay, so you have to provide the path here. Where is your XML file? It is inside the resource folder and inside the layout folder. Okay, here is your page 2. So for that, r dot, which represents the resource, then layout dot select your page 2. Okay, so this is how you can create the page in Android application. Okay, in the next session I will explain how to navigate from one page to another page.